I have to laugh about what is happening to Cenk Uygur from the Young Turks. It's not that he said some hurtful things about women or said some inappropriate comments. It's that he holds these views. And when he's challenged about why do you have these views about women, why do you think that they're inferior genetically because they don't have sex with you, he says, it's because I was a Republican. And people are fine with that. People that fight social justice warriors and fight against political correctness, like Sargon of Akkad, are fine with that explanation. I was a Republican then. He's given an apology. What more do you want? All Republicans are rapists. All Republicans devalue women. Why are people okay with that apology? It might seem like a non-issue, but it's not actually to do with what he said. It's not like a Milo issue where it was taken out of context. This is actually views that he fundamentally holds. And they then should be challenged. It shouldn't just be, you know, I was a Republican then, so I thought like that. That is not an acceptable explanation, and anyone that says it is being disingenuous. But at the same time, I can sympathise with the idea that the left are just crushing their own, and the social justice warriors and that agenda is now crushing the left and the Young Turks. It's going to crush everyone, just like censorship does. It doesn't judge. Just like the war on drugs isn't a right-wing thing or a left-wing thing. It doesn't judge. But in this case, it's not the same as Milo. It's not the same as just, oh, this wouldn't happen if it was on the right, because it's the views of the guy, what he fundamentally believes, who's the guy that runs the website, who started the website. And it's become a huge media empire right now with Soros backing. Trump has just passed an executive order that basically means that corruption is going to be investigated worldwide and stamped out. Worldwide funding is going to be cut. Private funding or any secret funding or anything like that is going to be just exposed and cut. And that means that Soros is going to be, you know, reined in pretty soon, I think. Google's Eric Schmidt has already resigned. I don't care what the official reasons are. None of these things happen by coincidence. Look at what QAnon said on 8chan. Of course, most of the general public don't know about this stuff. Or, you know, it's easy to discredit it. You can say, oh, well, it's only 4chan. Oh, well, it's only this. Oh, well, it's only that. It's always Soros, isn't it? Yeah. Follow the money. Very scientific, etc. And the Young Turks were very reluctant to criticise Obama, despite his drone genocide, despite his coup in Egypt, despite Fast and Furious bringing weapons into Mexico to blame the Second Amendment, despite, you know, all the endless other false flags that were going on at the time. Sandy Hook. Was that a false flag? I don't know. But I can look at the evidence and make my own decisions and mind up based on what I believe and what I think that they would do and what they're capable of doing and what they have done demonstrably in the past. And I don't put it past them for a second. They don't value human life. But the left and the mainstream media complex still think that they have the power, that they can use that to actually discredit someone. They tried it with Alex Jones. Do you remember Megyn Kelly's failed interview with Alex Jones, which completely backfired? Just like Hillary when she went on stage and said, Alex Jones, he uses that now on his show every day. Every day. It's the best PR you could possibly hope for. Thanks, Hillary. And with this executive order on reining in worldwide corruption, with the reinvestigation of the Uranium One scandal, with the exposure of Obama and his trade links to Hezbollah in the Iran deal. All this is being exposed now, and Jeff Sessions is suddenly springing into action, and maybe he'll even do something. I don't believe they can get away. I don't believe they can get away with it much longer, that's for sure. And people like Hillary, etc., there might be some patsies thrown, you know, to the wolves to protect Hillary and to protect Podesta and all the big names, and Obama certainly, because as I've said before, if Obama was indicted, there'd be race riots and Soros's Black Lives Matter would be activated, and if Hillary was indicted, there'd be, you know, female marches led by Linda Sarsour and funded by Soros again. I said that in the last video, and it's absolutely true. They can't do anything. It's a kind of deadlock. If one person comes in, everyone else comes in. It's like when Harvey Weinstein was caught. Suddenly everyone was caught. Everyone started being accused because he's the powerful bigwig in the pack. He's the one that sets all the other events in motion. And the truth about government in the past is that they've been lying to their people so they can forward a globalist agenda, working for the bankers, working for the global elite, and working for the cabal and the deep state. And the deep state is the intelligence agencies and the services, and we know that. We know what they do. We know what they're complicit in. We know they collude with corporations and terrorists around the world, and then you use their mainstream banks to actually fund terrorism. That's why ISIS have connections to HSBC and have Toyota cars. It's not independent of the West. It's only there because of the West. It's a policy of arming moderates, and then they join the jihadi groups, but they take all their technology and their guns with them, and we were actually giving them guns through the wars, the various wars over the years, and we've got to hold these politicians accountable, like Blair, Brown, Bush, Obama, Hillary, and they all need to be held accountable, and the whole thing needs to be just undone and a trajectory needs to completely shift. But for that, there needs to be a paradigm shift. And I think that's slowly happening now, and it wouldn't have happened if Hillary had got in. We would have lost everything. Just like we're losing everything in the UK because Theresa May is an appeaser, is a puppet. We need a Trump-type figure. We need a strong man or strong woman in the form of Anne-Marie Waters. But we definitely in the UK need someone other than Theresa May. Urgently.